Hello. This is your girl Dawn M. Williams. You are listening to Research Shows podcast. And today we have Miss Deba Douglas, who is a realtor and a real estate investor. So, how are you doing today?
I am great, Don. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so blessed to be on your show. So excited.
Yes, me too. And I'm glad you're here. Okay, so first of all, and this it's a lot of noise in the background. I don't know if you could like it's like interfering with me being able to hear you. So
Okay.
can you tell me what state are you located in?
I am in Texas.
Okay, so are you just a realtor in Texas or is it other states as well?
Right now, I am just a realtor in Texas, but we are working on some expansions.
Okay. All right, so I want you to tell everybody how long you've been in this industry and what made you get into real estate.
So I have been in real estate and doing real estate investing for the past 4.5 years. Prior to doing real estate investing, I was actually in education. I was a teacher, coach. I drove school buses, and my last stint in education, I was an administrator. And I did education for like 16 years and then decided to make a transition, which was totally different, but go into real estate and real estate investing.
Oh my goodness, that's one heck of a transition. So I'm now you got me curious. What age were you teaching? What age were these children?
Okay, so I taught middle school and high school, and I was an administrator at both middle school and high school.
Wow. Wow. And then you just transitioned right into real estate.
Yes, I will say it was kind of a transition of, what am I going to do? I realized early on, you know what, I don't think I'm going to be able to stick it out through education. Different reasons, politics, just trying to figure out how can I continue to grow and make financial sense. With
Mm-hmm.
being in education, you don't make that much money and you want to live a certain type of life. And you went to
Mm-hmm.
school to, you go get your education, get your degree, and you assume, you're living what America told you to do. Then when you're in it, you're like, I'm not making enough to really enjoy my life. And then you start having kids and then you start paying for daycare and doing all these different things that you're like,
Uh-huh.
I'm still not making enough. This is not going to work. And so during that time being an administrator, I started realizing like this is not the life that I signed up for. This is not the life that I want to continue to live. So I decided to start making changes. I started reading different books. And one of the books that really changed the trajectory for me was Rich Dad, Poor Dad,
Wow. Heard
by
that one
Robert
before.
Kiyosaki. If you have not read that book, you got to read that book because that is something that's going to change your mind. It's going to change how you think, how you view money, and how you view the things that you're spending money on today. People that know me know I love a purse. If I could get all different leather purses, I would do that all day long. And when I was an administrator, I would spend a lot of my money on getting a nice leather handbag. I read that book, and the thing that drew me into that book was there's a page that it's literally like a graph that talks about liabilities and assets. And there's an exercise on there that you write down all your assets, you write down all your liabilities to see where you stand. As I'm going through this, I'm thinking, you know what? I bet I have some assets. I know I have some liabilities, but I bet I have more assets. Thinking that I went to school, I did exactly what we're supposed to do. I'm in a
Right.
good place in my life. I'm going through there, I'm doing the activity. I'm like, okay, what can I put? Okay, I love me a Louis Vuitton purse. That should be an asset. No, when I buy it, that's the highest it's probably going to be. So, no,
Right.
that's a liability. And I'm thinking, well, I have really nice cars, like really nice cars. That should be an asset. No, I still pay a car note. And when I bought it, it's going to depreciate every year on after. That's a liability. And then I'm thinking around, okay, well, I got some kids, definitely liabilities, until they become grown and turn around and start taking care of me. I
Yes.
look around and I'm really disheartened because I'm like, I did everything I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's still not enough. And so I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
on my asset chart. I have no assets. I have two
Wow.
kids at this point, no assets, nothing to say I can pass this on to my kids where something that I currently acquire will be worth more later on. I have nothing. So I'm continuing to read the
Wow.
book. I'm like, okay, I got to take some notes. I got to figure something out because, and I'm thinking, well, I have a really good job, but the thing about it, if my kids decided they wanted to be in education, they got to go through the same route, the same ropes, and the same routines. I can't just give them a job. So it's not really an asset. And at any point, they can tell me, you know what, Deborah, we no longer want your services. What am
Mhm.
I going to do then?
Mhm.
I have no backup plan. So as I'm reading the book, it's talking to you about real estate. It is talking to you about stocks and bonds and having your money work harder than you do and getting your time back. And so that really was like, okay, how do you do this? How do you figure this out? So then after that, I told my husband, okay, we got to change some things around. We got to figure this out. Something is not right. So then we started diving into more real estate books, listening to different real estate podcasts, anything we could get our hands on about real estate. I even changed like the groups and things that I was on Facebook. And I was like, if I want to get into real estate, I need to just submerge myself and somewhat become obsessed with real estate. So I did that for about a year or so. And then we start figuring out, okay, we could buy a rental property. And at that time, early on in my education with real estate, all I knew was how I bought our house. Go to my lender, tell him I want to buy an investment property. And he's like, sure, but you got to put 20 to 25% down. That's all we knew. That's
Oh,
all we were aware of. That's a lot of money. So
it
we were like, well,
is.
let's just do it. Let's just figure it out. Let's get something that's cheap that we can, be able to bring that 25% or 20% down and see what happens. So we go through that. We actually finally find a property, a duplex. It took us a while, but we found a duplex. The person that had it before was a slumlord. So literally the day that we closed, all the tenants were calling us and saying, well, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. We need y'all to fix it today. I remember my husband and I looked at each other like, what are we going to do? Like, we don't even know how to do this. We
Right.
thought, we thought, hey, there's tenants in there. They'll be fine. They're not going to call us for nothing. By the time they call us for something, we'll figure it out. They called
Right.
us the day we closed after we gave up all our money. And we were like, I hope they don't call because we don't have no money to pay no maintenance
Oh my
issues.
gosh. Oh, wait. So wait, before we even get it, because I got another question on that one. Before we get into it, let me take a commercial break. We'll be right back. And when did you start the BB show?
2 years ago.
Oh wow. So you were, what are you, 11? So you was
Mhm.
9.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just so inspired. Oh my goodness. Okay, so all right, so tell everybody, how is it being a social media influencer? How is that experience for you?
It's actually been so amazing because I like to, inspire people, especially at a young age that I am, and I want to inspire like kids that's my age or younger, and also like some adults as well, so they can inspire their kids to, I wouldn't say be like me, but be like 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 positivity, like have positivity and be positive, not like don't be negative.
Entrepreneur Thursdays with Research Shows podcast. Hey, to listen to the full episode with Deba Douglas, just scroll back down to episode 106 of this podcast. Otherwise, any other episodes you can catch by going to theresearchdepartments.com and clicking on Research Shows podcast. Don't forget, we have a morning show every Monday at 6 a.m. And every day, 12 noon, we have My Two Cents, where I give business advice to entrepreneurs. So with that being said, thank you so much for listening and have a wonderful day on purpose.